Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of The Slice. My name is Michael, and today we are joined with a very familiar face. It's Peter from last week. Peter, how are we?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Thanks for letting me come back. Well, actually, you're not letting me come back. I said I'm coming back. Whatever. So here I am.
Well, do you know what? It's funny. Like I said last week, I've always said to people, "Oh, you should definitely come back on the show." I'm implementing that now. So this is a very rash decision, but I think it's the right decision. So I'm not going to explain the rules. You know the rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press the 10-minute timer. It has
Hit it.
started.
Hit
So
that timer.
So, Peter, we spoke last week about confidence and the importance of confidence. And I want to talk about video and how obviously a lot of the stuff that you do is based around going to big events and talking on a stage with loads of people. That hasn't happened. So, what have you been doing? How has your business changed and how have you adapted?
Yeah, absolutely. So literally overnight, from having different jobs set up, conferences, summits, all prepared and all ready to go on stage and shape the stage as an MC, a chair, master of ceremonies. That part of my job completely changed. So no, everything pretty much either stopped, um, or went onto this screen here, onto virtual hybrid events or just virtual events. So it's very different. So the things I do, things you do on stage, and this is same for speakers as well. And when you're on a stage in front of different different audiences, they can see you, feel you. You can almost feel the energy in the room, or you create that energy in the room. You can feel the reaction, all that. Most of that goes now. So changing that onto online for me was quite difficult. I really had to get used to those small things, those small intricate things you have to think about more of, in terms of getting that engagement. Because really, for me, that's the top thing that changes. Your engagement and connection on a stage is usually, if you're doing it well, it's quite high, right? On a screen, you almost have to earn that more. You
Mm.
have to you have to sort of boost up that engagement level. Because if you don't, the people listening, the distractions people have in front when they're sitting down in front of a screen are, there are lots and lots of different things going on in their lives. They owe you nothing to listen to what you have to say. Even right now, this is only 10 minutes. This is 10 minutes out of somebody's
That
life.
is valuable.
And
It's
we've all,
valuable.
absolutely.
Mm.
So if you don't give that engagement, if you don't, first of all, number one, give the value, and number two, if you don't share that value in an engaging way, people are just going to turn off. They are literally going to turn off, click, and go on to something else. So I've had to kind of think even more about how my engagement is going to be boosted up, so that the people listening, my audience, they get the value and also the engagement level. Yeah. So it's
And
been
that,
a
yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, changing.
That's it, value, giving value. I
Yeah.
talk a lot in my course that I was talking about last week. Giving value and storytelling are key things because, especially with value, if you're asking for somebody's time, you've got to make sure that you are either troubleshooting someone's problem or you're giving someone advice that they can go, wow, that was some great advice. I'm going to subscribe to that channel because that gave me good advice. And I might get more advice out of that. We look at influencers like there's the lady that does the cleaning. Is it Mrs. Hinch? Is it? She does all
I don't know. Mrs.
yeah.
is cleaner. It's a what? She's an influencer.
She's an influencer that talks about cleaning products and the best ways to clean your house and
Okay.
like shortcuts on how you can use a bit of lime water to I don't those
Okay.
kind of things. I've never checked out the stuff myself. However, a lot of people follow her and her channel purely because it's quick, it's efficient, it's effective, and it troubleshoots a problem that most people have: how to keep the house clean. So she's got that she's got the level of subscribers down to the fact that She is giving value. She's troubleshooting a problem. And people know that if they subscribe, they'll get more hints and tips. It's about being that influencer within your industry. She's an influencer within the cleaning industry. And when you get into that position, that's when the brands come calling and going, oh,
Yeah.
would you, like to sample our new bleach on your YouTube account? So that's how it works. A lot of, and I've spoken to a lot of people who've got kids who say they want to grow up and be the next YouTube star, and they want to make money on YouTube. And that was never around when I was a kid. YouTube was quite new when I was in my teens, and that's a scary thought, to think that there are kids, a generation now growing up thinking that they just make a YouTube account and they make money from it. It's a lot of hard work that goes into building up that online presence. So, do you have an online presence? Would you say that you use video quite a lot for what you do? I'm throwing you in the deep end.
My, my YouTube now listen, I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not in any way an influencer. I really don't have too many subscribers, but at the end of the day, I'm not really looking to kind of build up my subscribers on YouTube. And a funny story, in fact, quickly. So I did an event last year, and Zach King, do you know who Zach King is?
Yeah, I've come across him. Yeah,
Zach King, he I think he was number 3 in the world in terms of TikTok subscribers.
mm-hmm.
I think within the top 3 in terms of YouTube, and he's got like millions and millions of subscribers. And he was actually a speaker at the event I was hosting, and I met him, had a quick chat with him, and my daughters, they were just laughing at this because they know I've only got about 30 subscribers on my channel, and that they were imagining this chat with me and Zach King, me telling him, giving him tips on how to get subscribers when he's got like millions and millions and millions. Yeah. So in terms of my online presence, no. In terms of YouTube, no. I focus on LinkedIn. So that's really where I find my leads, my clients. They can find me, and the more and more I do video. So recently I got my show reels done finally, and a video, within 30 seconds, people, potential clients, potential leads, they can see me within that 30 seconds. They can hear me, they can feel what I'm about, they can hear my voice, they can decide, they can make a decision within 30 seconds. And that's what I want them to do. And even if they don't go for me, even if I'm not right for their conference, or maybe I'm not exactly the right fit because of whatever reason, in terms of, let's say, coaching, that's good. But the more you share of yourself, the more people can hear you, see you, feel you. And the best way to do that, is video.
Yeah.
Which is what you help people to do ultimately.
Yeah. And do you know what? I've always said, it's not my job to convert people to do video. It's a choice that they have to make themselves. I'm there to help get people to create engaging content. And that is the hardest thing to get your head around. But once you've done it, once you've implemented all the things that I teach, it's crazy how different that makes.
There are so many really small things, and these are things you teach as well. Looking at the camera, looking straight at the camera. Again, what does that do? More connection. It makes you feel like you're talking to somebody. It's almost you're respecting your target is here. Clear speech as well. Being more concise when we're speaking on camera. Thinking what we're doing with our body. If we're moving all around, it just makes us seems like somebody who's kind of not out of control, but not steady. But the more calm we are, and the more we kind of, control our bodies, we have kind of even more credibility. Showing our hands now and again, just because funny thing is, when we move our hands, when we gesture, we actually sound better.
Yeah.
Better.
They say you should stand up as well. Someone said
absolutely.
up.
So if you're well, here's the thing: if your anxiety is quite high, standing up is a good thing, because there's more air gets into your body, and so more air gets into your body, you're more stable, goes to your brain as well, and you sound better. All right.
Right. Okay.
And again, if for example, you've been doing lots of Zoom calls all day, or throughout the day,
Yeah, you
sitting
just
like I am
slump, don't
here,
you?
you're going to get absolutely, and the air coming in slowly, slowly, slowly. If I was to keep doing Zoom calls like this, by the end of the evening, I'll be down here. So standing up for that reason is a
Yeah.
good thing. So tips like that, all those simple things, clear speech, not shouting, but having a more louder voice. So when you have a louder voice, you intonate better. It's a funny thing. You intonate better, and also it sounds clearer, and you sound more assertive just by imagining you're projecting your voice a little bit louder. You're not shouting, but you're just projecting.
There you go.
I heard that timer. The timer that
Yeah,
reminds us all that
it's
there's a
the end.
breach on
It is
ship.
the end.
So
Yeah.
there's an intruder.
Everybody under the table. How did you find your second episode? How did?
Listen, that was good. It's really good to talk. It's always good, and we all know it. It's always good to talk about the things we love to do, and it's really good to talk to somebody who's not in the same industry, but in terms of what we do, we help people to
In different aspects.
to shine, to share their messages better. You do it through video, and I do it maybe through actually what they say and how they say it. So it's really good to chat with you.
Yeah, no, and I've really enjoyed you being on. I'm not going to say it'd be great to have you back because you've had to. You're not,
I'm not
maybe
coming back.
in a year's time, we'll touch base and we'll test the water. We'll see how these episodes have been and how successful they've been before we go down that road. But I'm sure they'll be a huge success. And thank you so much for actually giving 2 weeks up and actually giving your time, because like we've just said, time is very important
Valuable.
to people.
Yeah,
very valuable. So thank you so much for coming on the show. If anybody would like to watch any previous episodes, you can head over to youtube.com/Take the Cake Pro. If you want to subscribe and see all the latest videos, then don't forget to hit the button and click the bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.